What's going on, Madden Nation? I'm Sgibs. We have a big-time panel right here for the first ever MUT Cast. We're going to be doing these on a weekly basis to talk about the latest Ultimate Team content. We have the man, the myth, the legend right here, MUT Guru.
What's going on, everybody? How's it going? Come on now. These guys are legends, right? I'm surrounded by legends here. Give me a break. Now.
RG,
we got goats to the left,
greatest
goats
on
to
the
right.
sticks, greatest on the sticks, greatest in practice mode, greatest in the menus,
Greatest in practice
menu
mode.
go.
greatest the first week the game's
You
out.
are
That's it.
very good at in the menus, working the auctions.
Making the lineup, getting to the solos, getting to those sets. I'm a champ.
So let's start on this side. ZFarls, tell us a little bit about yourself. Why are you here? And tell us what we're talking about
Here
today.
to talk about the latest content, share it with you guys, take your questions, break them down. We do a weekly show where we try and help people with questions. We're going to do that here on this MUT podcast. Just excited to be part of this crew right here.
All right, MUT Guru.
Hey, we got lots of stuff, man. I mean, from road to the playoffs to Thanksgiving content to legends rolling out every weekend. We've had a lot of stuff. We're not stopping the train. We got something else coming a little later this week, so maybe we'll talk about that here in a little bit. But pretty strong legends this weekend, guys. What do you think, Zach Thomas?
Absolutely. We'll start talking about Zach Thomas shortly.
All
RG, tell us a little about yourself
Ryan
and your Hearthstone hat.
That is dope.
My
on
Hearthstone
point.
hat.
I didn't even notice that.
Appreciate it.
That is strong.
Appreciate it. My name is Ryan Glick. Everyone calls me RG. I'm an analyst here at EA Sports, former tournament player, and just excited to chat with the community, be a part of the podcast, and maybe talk about some of this esports. EA's
You know a
got
little
going
bit about
on now.
esports.
Yeah, I know a little something about it.
A little bit. So as we get started here, Guru, you're talking about Zach Thomas. That's the first guy. Falls. Go in and pull him up on the
Let's take
auction
a look
house.
at 'em.
He was a legend that came out this past weekend. A lot of people were chirping about him. Like
Yeah,
he's
first
the
time in
best ever.
Ultimate Team, man. First
Yeah.
time he's ever been in Ultimate Team, and he's got some really great strengths. He's very balanced, right? He stops the run, but then has some zone coverage. He's 81 zone, right? I think that's the story of Zach. Not only it's the play recognition and that zone. So if you're not a guy that uses your middle linebacker, he's going to have that play recognition. You're going to be able to drop him back into his zone and be comfortable with him making a play in the secondary as well as stopping that run.
Yeah, so a couple of the key stats here for Zach Thomas. 96 overall middle linebacker legend, just came out this past weekend. 86 speed, 91 strength, 92 block shed, 98 tackle. It keeps going. 99 play rec, 94 hit power, and 81 zone coverage for a linebacker is very high. I think the highest zone coverage for a linebacker right now is like Levante David type, 88 zone coverage, that ballpark. But do you think play rec? Like, is play rec that big of a deal? Like, where 99 is like, you think it's going to make him play better than someone else?
It depends on your opponent. For me,
Right.
play recs, from my understanding of it, has like the biggest impact on play action. It determines like how long they're going to stay in that read and react state. So if you're going up against someone that likes to run play action, I mean, it's definitely going to have a huge deal. For me, the big rating on Zach Thomas is that 92 block shedding.
Yeah.
That's like insane. That's like
Yep.
D lineman block shedding. And what block shedding does is that's really going to help dictate how well a linebacker can get off the block when trying to stop the run.
Yep.
People have this theory where they feel like it does something in like the pass rush. That's not what it's for. Block shedding is strictly for, it's like a run stop trait.
Right.
And 92 is like super high. That's like what you see on D linemen. So for a linebacker to have that with his speed, I mean, he's going to be able to set the edge or, blow up some of those inside zones pretty easily.
Yeah, what I find interesting about this Zach Thomas is there's very few players in the game that have the high strength, the high block shed, the hit power. Like you were saying earlier, like he does it all.
Yeah, that's
Like,
the story of this card is the balance for
It could
sure.
be acceleration.
is he worth? Falls. Is he worth the 532,000 coins? I think average right now 560 he's going for.
Yeah, he definitely is. There's really three guys at this level. So what you guys said about his run stopping ability, he is the peak performer you want in at middle linebacker. You need him if that's what you're going to get yourself for that price. If you don't have quite the 500K, I think in the 300K range, we're talking 93 Vikings Kendricks for that role. And if you don't have that, then you're going with Quan Alexander,
Yep.
team of the week, if you need a cheaper guy. So I like to kind of look at three levels of MUT items. The best, the card that most people have, and then the real budget version of that. But, I mean, the Zach Thomas, he's a rich man's Luke Kuechly with this version.
It's ridiculous. Look at his
Yeah,
stats.
it's
But the
across
Bowman.
board.
Okay, that's interesting. First of all, the Bowman
Comparison here, actually.
is, you kind of look at the two and you see more green on the Bowman side, so you're like, okay, Bowman's better. But is that okay? You see 9+ play rec there for the Zach Thomas over the Bowman. Is the Bowman better than the Thomas? The Thomas getting more love because, as you were saying, like he's the first time in, everyone's excited about him.
Yep.
But then do you want to look at what other stats are you going to look at here other than what's on that front panel? Farls?
Strength, excel.
91 strength is bananas.
Yeah, those are in favor of Thomas. The pursuit's a little better, I think.
So RG, when you see the strength there, from like the gameplay perspective side there, like what is that going to allow Thomas to be better at, opposed to some other players like the Bowman 85 strength?
Yeah. So strength is another one that really it has an impact everywhere. Strength's like obviously really important in football. The main place where I know strength is like super relevant again is when you're trying to get off blocks to stop the run.
Yep.
So with his 90+ strength plus his 90+ block shedding, like don't be surprised if when somebody's running by him he disengages and kind of makes that reach tackle, or it'll be really easy as a user to kind of use the A button and break into a conservative tackle when someone's running by you. So the strength really just helps solidify him as one of the probably, if not the most elite run stopping linebacker that you can have.
All right, so the one thing we can see Thomas doesn't do here great is power move, finesse move. So I think a lot of times people think, okay, it's Zach Thomas, he's a 96 overall, he's going to be, I can put him anywhere, he's going to be nasty. Bad idea, put him at outside linebacker and blitz him, correct?
Yeah,
With his power move, finesse move, not a good way to get after the quarterback, correct?
No.
We all agree on that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely, and that's generally not what the middle linebackers are known for. You'll see pretty much across the board, guys are going to be pretty weak at that. I think the Bowman's kind of the exception.
I think that Kiko, the Kiko is also known for being put out on the edge. A lot of people put him out on the edge because of his mix of speed and coverage.
88 zone is just
you can
nasty.
see it's
It's
pretty
ridiculous.
impressive. So those are the two that I think would fit in there.
That's really high. 88 zone's really high. You're starting to get into like cornerback territory when you have a linebacker with that high
It's
zone.
a safety. It's a
Right,
safety at
right.
linebacker.
Clay does have 95 power move because he has been an outside linebacker in the past. He got moved into the middle, so he's a unique scheme fit. But you want to go through, see what they're actually good for before you pick them up in the coins.
So are we willing to say that this Zach Thomas, currently right now, on November, what day is it, 23rd, 24th? I don't know. Is he the best linebacker in the game? Best middle linebacker in the game for MUT?
I don't think so.
RG says no.
I'll tell you what, I think it's between him and Bowman. There you go, right there. I think those are the two guys that if you're wanting the top two guys in the middle to control the field that are good at also protecting the pass in the middle of the field, those are your two guys right there.
I'd
Alright.
like to try the Bowman. I personally have this thing in my brain that's a 90 threshold at play rec.
Mm-hmm.
If I see 90, I think good. If I see 88, I'm like, not good. So I think the 90 just gets it done for me.
Yeah.
If it was 86,
I agree.
I would take the Thomas over the Bowman, but just that's the way my brain works.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Bowman's got a little bit more of those sexy stats, like 96 hit power. That's kind of like, it makes you feel good inside.
Two-
We can't forget this +2 to pursuit though that Bowman offers with that boost as well to everybody on the field. So I mean, you got to take a couple
Into-
That's
in
important. That's important.
consideration.
The other big thing, these two guys, not that tall. It's a
Yeah.
tertiary stat.
Yep.
It's
What
the
is
thir-
tertiary?
It's
Have you
like
ever
the-
heard
Good
anyone say the
word. Good
tertiary?
word. I was just gonna go with it.
I've never heard anyone
Glad
say
you called it out.
tertiary.
It's
Charles
the-
told me what mental pretzel was that.
It's like the third thing you look at, but at the end of the day, it's not bad.
6'3" Johnson.
For a
6'3".
six-
Go to that Ray Lou. The Ray Lou's the one I like. to
You
use
like
a
the
lot.
you like the Ray Lou better?
I mean, I don't know if it's looking at him, his ratings don't look that much better, but
Okay, this screen can be deceiving because you could see more green on the left, but he could only be, when you really look at it, his pursuit or his zone coverage is only 4 more.
Yeah.
But you're like, oh, he's green there, he must be way better.
Yeah.
He's only 4.
Yeah.
So it can be deceiving, I think.
That hit power is nice with the Ray.
97
He
hit
steps
power.
up and lays the wood.
the
that's
one
for
thing I
sure.
noticed about Ray, I don't know if it's because he probably has his strip ball trait, but the strip tackle button with Ray Lewis is insane. I literally get the nastiest.
What do you do?
Just RB.
Do you run and hold it or do you tap it?
I'll hold it when I'm going into him, and if I chase it, I'll just keep spamming it, hoping that I don't.
Do you do that?
can
Do you
engage
play
it.
with that?
Every now and then.
I've never used it this year. Not
I
one
never
time.
know
No, it
when to
works.
time it, when to not time it.
It's actually, people don't even realize it. This year they added in the front end I believe there's actually a strip ball trait, and this is the first year that trait was in the game. So we actually did some work to make sure like elite people at stripping the ball can strip the ball, and I don't think people are taking like full advantage of that.
Chat, everyone in the chat, are you using the strip ball that RG's talking about? It sounds like it's like a power move here. Let us know in the chat. Type 1 if you're using it. Type 2, never heard of it in your life like myself. I'm going to start using it. Type 3 in the chat. But Farls, you got a comparison up here?
So this is that 93 Kendricks. He's a little faster.
That
but
speed kills.
Is he really the brother? Is he really the guy's brother?
I think they're related.
Is that real?
Their stats are similar too. That's funny.
Again, something I didn't know.
But you see the pursuit. 89 block shed's amazing. I mean, we're comparing it to Zach Thomas, so once again, you see more green on Thomas's side, but above 90 hit power. The 87 play rec, you'd like to see it at 90. In my opinion, that's why I would edge the Thomas if I wasn't going to use her, but you know, this is the it card that people are into.
What's he going for? What do you know what he's going for price wise?
I want to say 3.
So you could save about 100K roughly, correct? If he's going for 300, save 100K and put that into your team elsewhere, and this Kendrick is going to play just as good.
Yep.
Potentially,
Yeah.
you gotta check it. So that's the Champ Bailey syndrome.
Right. All right.
You gotta check them.
So I'm going to say that the Zach Thomas, this is my stamp of approval. I'm going to say that Zach Thomas, because I've played with him as well, he's the best middle linebacker in the game, in my opinion.
You start him over Bowman, or you use them both?
I use them both, but I use Thomas more. Oh, I'm sorry. Listen, yeah, my team's good. I get it. We're gonna carry this story here. My team is. Yeah, I get it. My team's good. I got a good team. I got a very good team. Let's go around the room. Farls, is he the best middle linebacker in the game?
Give me
You
Bowman.
stamp for approval.
I'd take Bowman, but yes, 1A.
Okay.
I would take either.
Guru.
I can't help it. That signature Bowman is so sexy in that plus to pursuit. I've used Bowman in the past. I've leaned on him in the past. That's my guy. I got Zach at number 2.
Okay. RG?
I haven't played with him yet.
Haven't played with him. Okay.
I can't.
RG really is a big fan of
We
that
gotta
Ray
fix
Lewis.
that. We gotta
I don't
fix
wanna
that,
lie
man.
He
to
likes that
people,
Ray
man.
Lewis.
Hook me up, man.
Okay, so the next items, the next things we're going to talk about here, guys, we had a big content drop, obviously, this week with all the Team of the Weeks. Guru, can you start talking a little bit about some of the Team of the Week items? Can you talk about what they represent for some of the new guys that might be watching or listening? Yep. What is Team of the Week, and why is it important to the guys at home?
Sure, man. Team of the Week is probably one of the closest things that we do with the NFL. Every Sunday, of course, you're going to get a multitude of games. We're going to be watching those close and commemorate the best performances on Monday early afternoon. So I don't know if you guys know or not, that definitely takes a lot to turn around. We're one of the only people in the industry
Shout
that
out
turns
to the
that
guys
real close.
upstairs.
I tell you what, get in early for that.
Billy Shouts, Cassis, all
Matt
the dudes,
Chrisman, Jeffrey Younger, those
Let's
guys
go.
put it in out there.
And Hoff.
Don't forget about
All the
guys.
dudes, right? Because they're grinding. They get here. How time do they get here?
I tell you what, Billy breaks the doors at 4 a.m. on Monday.
That's true.
Real quick,
Tell us
literally
that.
crazy story. Real
Yeah,
quick,
it's awesome.
Hoffman had been telling me, he's like, yo, Billy gets in here at like 4 a.m. I'm like, no, dude, that's insane. So one night I'm here like grinding, working on patch stuff, and I end up staying till 4 a.m. myself. And literally, as I'm leaving the building, like finally leaving at 4 a.m., Billy's walking in
for the day,
like coming in for the
know.
day, and we
Oh
kind
my
of just
God.
like look at each other like, dude, you're a maniac. He's like, you're a maniac. But yeah, the dude really does get here at like 4 a.m. like almost every day. It's pretty.
So
insane.
it definitely takes a lot to get this stuff out to you guys. This week, of course, a JJ Watt. Always a big week when new JJ Watt comes out. He had a huge week last week, so we've given him the 94 set reward hero this week. So let's take a look at his item right now compared to his old one.
I like the comparison here that you brought up. So first things first, a couple housekeeping about this JJ Watt. 94 overall, left end. He is going for average about 485,000 coins.
Still a lot, but less
That's a
than I thought.
lot of coins. I mean, you're getting into that Zach Thomas territory in the amount of coins he's going for. So we run through some of his key stats that stand out to me personally. 81 speed, 96 strength, 96 block shed, and 99 power move.
So this is something I was saying yesterday about the JJ Watt. The 99 power move after the patch, to me, with the CPU seems to be rushing better after the quarterback. The better guys are playing better.
This guy stayed up until 4 a.m. That's why.
That's
This
why.
bro.
I
This
don't
bro
know if RG can
Chacho.
tell us, more, but I seen these power moves, a finesse move. Cam Wake, who I don't think has the physical attributes, but does have the 98 power move, is winning more. It seems to me.
Cam Wake is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so now with the Watt with this 99 power move, he's going to stay in your lineup for forever because it doesn't, you know.
That's something that you talk about a lot, right? And I feel like maybe it doesn't hit home. Like, why is this Watt going to stay in your lineup for the rest of the season? Why?
Because, yes, you might get like 102 power move when the second edition of Mean Joe Green or something comes out. Like, something will come out with 101, 102, maybe. But you get this guy in your lineup, there's always going to be a place for him. You're always going to want a guy with 99 power move in your lineup.
It's maxed out. It's a maxed out category. That's the whole point, right? So you look at a kicker, McManus, right? He's got 99 kick power. 99 kick power is always going to be 99 kick power. It's always going to be at the top end of what you can get in terms of the rating.
Yep.
So McManus, he came out super early. You got to get him because he's going to have value come March. Because, yes, if a new kicker comes out with 101, 102, it's going to be a little bit higher. You can't improve upon 99 power move that much. So that's where we're saying JJ Watt is going to play just about the entire year at 94 JJ Watt.
Thing about a JJ Watt, though, Gibbs.
Yes.
Thing about a JJ Watt.
Talk
We're
to
going to
me.
go and take a look right now. He's
Okay.
got a little hidden stat
Ooh.
down there.
What?
That's
He's got a little hidden stat. This is why you go out and you get a JJ Watt. So if you're one of these guys that likes to drop your end back into a zone, this guy is going to catch the ball.
So he could be a really good user. Like if you pass rush with him, okay, now you got me thinking here. You play
Pick
the
that
end.
screen off, maybe.
Yeah.
In progress.
80 catch.
Mhm.
Is that
80
bananas?
catch
No,
on that.
it's funny. Right before Guru said that, I was going to bring that up myself. Cause
Wow.
Jump.
If you watch, especially one thing you see a lot of people doing is they're running that dime normal defense, and they're
Mosby.
Mosby that he made very famous in. He's pulling that end, off, kind of usering them. That's something you can do, and then sometimes you just can't get to the right guy. You get stuck on your D lineman, and you have to run into coverage with your D lineman. If that happens when you're clicked on the JJ Watt, you don't take any type of hit because he's going to be as good in coverage when you're user defending as almost any linebacker. Just a little bit of speed issues, but that's
Yeah. What excites me about this Watt, all those things that you guys are all saying, but what I love about him is super expensive. First of all, that's something I
He
don't
likes
love about him.
expensive things.
I don't love him about that, but we're starting to get into that point of the MUT season where you're starting to get players that are a combination of everything. So far as you were talking about earlier, Cameron Wake, he had 98 power move, but he doesn't have the ability to stop the run. So
Yeah.
he's kind of a liability for you to play. So now you get a guy like JJ Watt. He's got 81 speed, so that means he's fast. He can make some plays if you drop him into zones. He got 96 strength and 96 block shed, so that means he's going to hold up in the run game like a D tackle would, like a Brandon Williams, gold Brandon Williams. And he also has 99 power move. So now he's better than the Wake. So I think that if you're going to go out and get a stud player and spend this many coins on somebody, don't go out and get a guy that is purely power move guy or purely a block shed guy. You get a guy like JJ Watt because he does all three of those things. He can rush the passer, he can drop into coverage, and he can stop the run. That's what I love about this JJ Watt. That's what I love about this time of the MUT season.
I see a lot of people, including I think yourself, Gibbs, that run him at D tackle too.
Love it. That's my move. I put him at D tackle.
Are you in my head or something?
Sorry, man.
Talk
I know
about
it's
that.
because we
We'll
got
talk about
this in
that.
here.
I think a lot of people have that question. Tell us about that.
Well, I don't know in every formation at D tackle, but immediately when I'm looking at that item, I'm thinking of my $146 defense and that that DN that plays D tackle right there in the middle, and he's perfect for that. Perfect, because he's going to be able to, like you said, be able to stop the run like a defensive tackle. You run one of those inside zones, he's going to be up against the center. He's going to be able to block shed and make some plays. And then if it's a pass, center's pass blocking is usually not that great. He's going to get matched up against the center a lot of the times, and unless they get a pass block double team on him, the center's definitely probably going to have some trouble with that 99 power move. That's one thing I will say is those power move and finesse moves have a big, pretty much the biggest impact when determining how successful someone's going to be at the pass rush.
So here's the question. We asked the question about Zach Thomas. Is he the best middle linebacker in the game? Now the question here with JJ Watt is the upgrade from 91 Gatorade JJ Watt to the 94 Team of the Week JJ Watt, is it worth the coins? You're going from 166K for the 91 Watt, and it was about 460 for the JJ Watt Team of the Week 94. Moving from that 91-94, is it worth that extra 300K? Zach.
Price check on aisle 91 Muhammad Wilkerson, please.
Yeah. Okay. Let's take a look.
So,
All right. I'll do it.
this
Spill on aisle 5.
question for Guru, as he is the MUT Guru.
Guru.
How much
The
does a
goo.
new 94 JJ Watt coming out affect the price of the 91 Watt? Because I feel like, to me, the 91 Watt was very expensive. Now he seems less expensive. Does a new item of a player coming out generally drive down the price of an old guy?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, every time. And that's immediate. You'll see that as soon as it launches, the guys that are at home during the day immediately affect the market. They're putting up their JJs for cheaper, because this one, I mean, as you see down the line, there's nothing on the right. There's no green on the right. So
No
it's
green.
It's a complete upgrade, right?
Yeah.
And JJ is, like we're all talking about, one of those guys that you can go out and get and be happy with for the rest of the season.
Correct.
Just a note here, this was a launch item. This JJ Watt on the right was available at launch.
That's
So
crazy.
This is quite, he was quite an impact player at even at launch, but then I think he's going to even carry more weight now with his new item.
So I'm going to hold on the upgrade. Personally, I don't have the max squad yet, so I do want the Watt. I'm going to hold on the upgrade. I'm going to recommend going with the 91 Wilkerson. This is a card I've been on for a long time. His strength is a little bit lower, but you get the block shed in the run game, and you still get 96 power move. He's not super slow. A lot of times these guys with this strength and block shed combo are just have like 68 speed.
Too slow for you.
Like the Damon Harrison.
Yeah.
He's very good for what he does, but like RG said, when you get him in a pass rush situation, you feel the slowness of it all. If the Watt had, say, like 92 excel, like the Gilbert Brown, I would say maybe, because you could maybe mix him up on some stunts and stuff like that, but I'm going to hold off on the Watt at this cost. I'm going to either look to go with the other one, get some value, and definitely want to obviously get to the Watt, though.
Price check complete, and then we'll move on. Wilkerson, 91 Wilkerson, $150K right now on Xbox One. So he's kind of going for the same price as the 91 JJ Watt. My final stamp of approval here is I think the 91 JJ Watt still gets it done. I want to see the price of the 94 Watt come down a little bit in terms of coins, and then I'll consider upgrading.
For Guru, Watt is the collectible, not the 48-hour.
That's
hero.
correct. It's the set.
I
hero,
was
so you have to put
afraid,
together
like,
the
oh
set,
man,
right?
Watt's coming out, but it's gonna be super hard to get. But it does seem like there's a good amount of them, and the Doug Martin's more limited.
Yep, no, that's correct, because he's in for packs for the
Guru.
packs for the limited time.
Need your stamp of approval. Is it worth it to go upgrade 91 to 94 Watt at this point in the season?
See, now this is a little personal, so I don't
Yeah.
know. It's a little personal here because I always have the best Watt. I always have the best JJ Watt. I always have
That's fine.
the best luck with JT is who I was running. Jason Taylor is who I was running before this Watt. I wasn't even running the base Watt, so I think this Jason I had great luck with the speed of this Jason Taylor, but the better mix of the JJ is going to make me go for that upgrade, and that's who I'm going to be using at
All right,
left hand.
RG, when you see the stats here, do you think the 91 Watt to the 94 Watt, throw it up on the screen, do you think that is worth the upgrade at this point in the season?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played with the item yet, but looking at it, I wouldn't mind playing with it. I mean, he's going to be able to do whatever you want. Like Guru was saying, like the Goo was saying, if you got... The
Goo. Is that going to become a real thing? I feel like
Yeah,
the
it's
Goo.
getting
I call
there.
people
It's
the
getting
Goo.
there.
I like
The Goo.
So you got Jason Taylor, and Jason Taylor. I've used Jason Taylor, but I only put him in passing downs because of his limited block shed and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Watt never has to come off of the field at all, and then you could drop him in the coverage. That's a real deal item right there. I mean,
doubt.
knowing the game and how it works, I can vouch that item is the real deal. And if you're a MUT baller, like it obviously seems like it's pretty expensive,
It is,
but
yeah.
if
Yep.
you're balling out there and you want to show it, I mean that's
If you have to ask how much the
Top
94
tier.
JJ Watt costs,
You can't afford
can't
it.
you can't afford it.
Because you know he's going to be up there, right? You know he's going to be up there.
You just
Great
commit
player.
to, okay,
Need him.
you hear JJ Watt had 2 sacks, and you're like, gotta get my coins ready, because you know you want the best team, and JJ Watt is always going to be the best. Whatever version of JJ Watt's the latest is always going to be the best at that spot.
Yep.
And
All right.
DT.
We're going to move on here. We're going to go a little bit more in depth with the bigger items here, but we're going to talk about some of the other Team of the Week items I think are really important. The Doug Martin, limited time only.
Yep.
Okay, but I still think it's important to talk about him here. 92 overall. He's going for about 117,000 coins. And Farls and I were actually last night. We were leaving the gym. We played some tennis. I think RG, we might have been talking about this Doug Martin. I said, I don't really love him. Not a big fan. Farls goes, he's like Terrell Davis.
Yeah, he is.
So then I started looking at his stats and comparing him to that Terrell Davis. And he actually is. So I'm coming back and I'm saying, yes, this Doug Martin's kind of a beast.
Shout out to the guy on Twitter. I don't know his handle, but he was like, yo, Doug Martin's pretty much as good as Terrell Davis.
Don't
He's
have
got
the
better
TV.
stiff arm. I said, I'm not a stiff arm guy, but when you have a guy who's just balanced across the board, 93 speed, 93 agility, 92 excel, he doesn't take it. A lot of the backs will, like the Thomas Rawls that came out, he just randomly doesn't have the agility. Or, not randomly, but he just doesn't have the agility category. Certain guys, they have the speed and the agility, but they don't have the excel. So, the Doug with the carry and the 91 elusive, I like that rating. I'm not saying he's the best back. I'm not saying really much, but I think if you need a balanced back, he's only a little over 100K. Like,
He's not that much.
he's not that bad.
I love this carry rating. That's what makes me most excited about him. With like the high speed excel, all that. It's really difficult sometimes to find that type of back with that high a carry.
Such as AP,
Yeah,
just like
absolutely.
randomly has the 88 excel. You know,
84 carry as well.
and 84 carry. He's gonna lay it on the ground. So,
Compare him here, because people in the chat were talking about 87 Jamal Charles base. Now again, see, I think at this point of the season, you have to now start valuing carry a little bit more, because the Charles 88 carry, you're going to get all these guys in the field with high hit power.
Yep.
Charles becomes a liability at this point in the season.
So these are two guys you're going to probably want to get out on the edge, right? You're going to be running a sweep. You're going to be running a toss with these guys. You're going to be matched one-on-one a lot of the time with those safeties that you're talking about, right? They're going to be coming down trying to lay that hit stick. So that carrying has become super important this time of year, like you're talking about.
The Schefter Gurley, I'd like to see what the Schefter Gurley has in relation to this Martin. He was tough to make, but I think you maybe got one more week to get the Schefter Gurley. I think he would be a good option. If you can't get the 92.
We talked about that on Twim last
Yeah.
week. That Gurley is solid, man. And the stats don't even tell the whole story on that Gurley. I wish we had one here to show you, but widely considered in the community as one of the best budget halfbacks out there.
What's Martin's catch? Can you take a look at that for me, Farls? His catch in like route running. I'm starting to value route running from a halfback a little bit more, especially with the 4 verticals play.
Juggernaut 76 catch.
Pretty good.
I'll get you one.
Do we have his route?
Route.
Look at go back up. Look at all those extra stats.
Lot of great
Juke move, spin move,
Yep.
stiff arm. They're all very high.
Yep.
He's a good running back.
This is typically one of those guys that he's one of the gold items that I look at the beginning of the year, right?
71 hit power?
Well, I don't know where that came. I don't know where that came from.
What is
I'll
like a
tell you-
hidden stat?
Is that going to help with
So if
any
you-
other
You
stats?
throw an,
somehow,
you throw an
offensively? What the
interception, you
heck?
know that you got to click on to make that
I had no
happen.
idea that it was like that. You throw a pick
Use
and
the
then you
switch
just-
to Martin
Yeah.
quick.
Go back up to the rest of his stats here.
It's 72 route running.
Yeah. So juke move, spin move. That's interesting because that seemed really high to me
Yep.
for a 92
absolutely.
overall.
Yep.
Like he seems to have everything. What's his strength? If his strength is high,
So that's where I was kind of going here with the gold item. And at the beginning of the year, he's one of those sleeper golds. Same with like CJ Spiller. At the beginning of the year, you can pick him up.
are we
And now he's
talking
got
93 MVP Andre Ellington Madden 2015 worthy right here with this Doug Martin? Does he have that stats? We all
He's
remember
got-
his
he's got
strength.
That mix, man. He's got the mix of everything.
I
It's
want to
pretty
try him
close.
out. I think.
Yep. And he's not that expensive. That's what the best part is. Just over 100,000 coins, like Farrell said. So
RG, looking at those stats, what do you think?
Yeah, he's really solid. For me, when I think of a running back, the key stats that I look at, especially the way the game's meta is right now, is speed, which he's obviously like better than average with 93. Excel, I mean, those are the two obvious ones. But then the other things I really like about him, and carry's the other obvious one. We obviously care about carry. Protecting the ball is important. So you don't want, like you said, those hit sticks
You
and
can't.
all that. So those are the 3 main important ones, and he's definitely usable in all those categories. The other stuff that jumps out to me that's really important is agility is a big one for me. For a long time, I was even playing with that gold LaShawn McCoy. That
yeah,
had
that's
99
what I'm talking
Mass
about.
agility,
Yep,
especially when you're
absolutely.
running, those inside zones or even a toss. Any type of run, really, agility has such a high impact on how easy you're able to, make those quick cuts and really hit your hole.
The
run hole.
fidelity, some might say,
Yeah.
of the cut.
You could literally notice it. I mean, if you're at home and you wonder what agility does, go take that McCoy and feel how easy it is
Yep.
to kind of swerve where you want to go. So he has the agility to do that, which is really important to me. And then the next one that's really big, and I think Problem had a big impact on this is the juke move. I mean, that double juke move is now becoming the thing to do with your running back. So him having 94 juke move is it's really big, because a lot of these defenders, like you said, at this time of the year are going to have really high pursuit ratings. It's going to be hard to kind of fake them out. So you need one of those mid to high 90s juke moves in order to get by those guys, and he has that. So he's balanced. He's definitely usable. I would be able to, put him in my starting lineup and rock away. So.
Hey, quick shout out to those guys doing the style master, the dual style master too. These team of the week items are coming out with dual style now as well.
Yeah.
You can see
Show me that.
long pass and speed
There it
run
is.
here on this guy.
Love it.
So you're gonna be able to take him in, get some of those challenges done that maybe you weren't be able to
So
before.
he gives you a little added bonus for a price that isn't too ridiculous to go out and get.
Yep.
So we all agree, a stamp of approval here is we all say this Doug Martin, the 92 team of the week, limited time only.
Yeah, I'll just say, like,
He's a good player.
when I saw that Doug Martin ran for, like, well over 200 yards, I was like, all right, I'm not personally going to go after Doug Martin. But then after seeing how balanced he is and how good he is, I think it makes for a great community item. Just a guy that he's not going to put fear in you. The same thing last year with, the Steven Jackson freeze that came out. I was like, I don't really want him. And then he ran against me and had like 100-something yards, and I was like, wait, the Steven Jackson's pretty good. This Doug Martin's pretty good. And you got to learn your lesson the hard way. So you can't overlook a guy like this.
Well, there's a lot of halfbacks to choose from out there, right?
Right.
And so he is easy to overlook. And he's not a bigger name, He's one of those mid-level names, and so it's definitely something for you guys to go check out.
Next on our list, we're going to go quicker through these guys because they're not the higher upper echelon of the team of the weeks, but we got Tamba Ali, still a good ball player, 88 overall, right outside linebacker for the Chiefs. 65K he's going for average price right now on the market. Some of his key stats here, again, 88 overall, 77 speed, 92 strength, 85 block shed, 97 power move. If we rewound and went back what we were talking about the JJ Watt, what we like about him so much is he's a hybrid between the speed, the strength, block shed, and power move. When you go to a lower tier player like this Tamba Ali, you can see he's got good strength, he's got great power move with a 97 power move, but he doesn't finish with the block shed and the speed.
Yep.
So now he becomes a little bit of liability. Obviously, you're going to see that in the coin department. What do you think about this Tamba Ali, Farls?
I think you see what Hali does well is the 92 strength in the 85 block shots.
97 power
is
move as well.
decent.
Can't see it there, but
Mixed with 97 power move. Poor man's Joey Porter. Doesn't have the speed, doesn't have the excel. Not everyone can afford the Porter. He takes some of the best parts of it and does it well. Same thing with the Shugz. He's in this type of physical, hold the edge in the run game. The Ware doesn't have the block shed, has the strength but not the block shed. The Shugz base, he's pretty much as good as the Shugz base. You get that power move. Shugz obviously has really good power move. I think you go here to Tamba. Maybe he comes down
65K still.
35K.
Yeah.
I got him at 50 here, so maybe he drops to 35, and you can't stop inside zone to the left. You pop this guy in, see if he can hold the edge.
Guru, thoughts on the Ali?
Yeah, I think, this isn't something if you're going out and you're trying to build the ultimate team and you're trying to get the best guy at each position. I don't think this is going to be an item that you're necessarily interested in. But say you're building a KC team. A lot of people I see out there building all teams or their favorite teams. This is going to be a solid addition to a lineup like that. Even more so upgraded over his base addition. So, I think that the story is that power move and that pursuit. He's going to be able to get off the outside edge, but still lacking in that speed department with the 77. Not making my lineup, Gibbs.
RG?
Yeah, no, it's solid. I mean, I feel like with 97 power move and what is that, 92 strength, he's going to be an elite type pass rusher. Like, he's lacking in speed. He's not like the best of the best, but I feel like he's almost usable on any level. 85 block shedding's not terrible either, especially when mixed with that strength rating. So I think he's good. One thing I just want to throw out here, and I feel like this is a tough decision.
Yeah.
But when you're looking at outside linebacker, these initial stats that we show, it's like hard. I feel like you kind of want to get finessed and you
do.
want to get the moves on there, but
You
at
do.
the same time, not every outside linebacker is a pass rusher. So it's like they got a tough job up there to like determine which ratings to get on there. Just real quick, I'm sorry to change the audible. What do you think we could remove here in place finesse or power move, and is that even worth it?
I would take out hit power. I would take out block shed.
I take out tackle just because I'm going to assume
Not
that
block
his
shed.
tackle's important. But
Yeah,
like,
block
I'm
shed's
gonna,
important. Yeah.
No.
I'm going to
Block shed.
assume that his tackle is
Pursuit and
not like a
power.
40 and it's not like a danger area. Like I'm just going to assume there's stats that you can
I like what you're saying.
like infer. So if you tell me like
yeah. Infer.
Mental
words-
pretzel.
big
It's
words,
the mental
ZFarls.
pretzel,
like you
man.
tell
It's him.
me Tamba has like high strength, high power move, I'm gonna be like, he's probably not that fast. He probably has, or if he has super high tackle, he's probably got really high pursuit. Like there's moves that kind of go together, and so maybe take tackle out because I don't know. But then do you want like zone coverage at your outside linebacker?
It's tough. You don't know
I
what
want
to
finesse-
put there. It's
finesse
like
power
we need
move, I think.
more.
Yeah.
I always find myself like, man, I wish they just showed the pass rush moves, but then at the same time, like all of this stuff's valuable too. So I don't envy the job that they got up there trying to, come up with the right stuff. But,
And the
I'm
thing
just
is,
curious.
always can tweak it, always change it every year.
Yeah.
But my final opinion here, my stamp of approval on the Hali is I'm going to say no. You go get a guy like an Aaron Lynch, super value type player. What is he? 2,000 coins, 4,000 coins. The Aaron Lynch has a finesse move or power move that is very similar. 95 power move for 60,000 less coins. I'm going to still roll with this Aaron Lynch. I'm going to pass on the Hali.
So let it be written, so let it be done.
Yeah, we all had different opinions. Farls said he liked him because he was a poor man Porter, so which I kind of agree with.
If you really can't stop the run, it's worth chucking him in a Sgibs out there and see if it helps.
For sure.
Seeing if it helps.
We got three other guys to quickly go through here, then we'll jump into some questions and talk a little bit about the Madden Challenge. But we had a DeQuell Jackson, 88 middle linebacker, a James Jones, 87 overall receiver, and a Thomas Rawls, 85 halfback.
Shout out to the hoodie on James Jones this weekend.
Yeah.
Out on Rawls.
Yep. 93 speed, 88 agility, 92
He's
skill,
good.
93 truck.
He's good, low agility, doesn't have the elusive. There's just
There's better
just,
backs.
There's so many backs.
So
Yeah,
better backs.
absolutely.
DeQuell, last year he got a really good item, but he couldn't catch, was the rumor.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what kind of why I dropped him out of the lineup. I think if you can't afford Zach Thomas, he's kind of like a Luke Kuechly. Like you throw him in the middle, really high play rec, good zone.
Yep.
Let him sit there, see if he can make some plays. If he doesn't, get him out of your lineup because a lot of dime a dozen middle linebackers. James Jones, no route running really. Like it's
87 route running,
not enough.
not enough.
I like that he has 99 release, and I like that he has 98 catch in traffic. So if you have a specific route that gets pressed but doesn't really need the route running to beat the cut and gets caught over the middle, that's your guy.
Mm-hmm.
But he's only got 89 speed, so I'm out on James Jones.
Yeah, I'm out on all three of those guys. I'm going to pass on them. I sort of like the James Jones for the same reason you're saying 99 release if you need him to get off the press in a certain spot, but the route running really concerns me. Meta of the game this year, a lot of people playing that 2-minute under coverage, especially at the higher tiers of the game. So to me, I really value route running. So that James Jones with 87 route running is really a problem for me putting on my field.
47 elusive.
RG, what do you think about some of his stats here?
And 98. What was that? 98
Catch the traffic. It's good, yeah.
That's big. That's really good. 87 route, 99 release is huge. So at least that's one thing that's going to help. He doesn't have the route running, but at least so he might not win on his cut against man coverage, but at least he's going to win off of the press. So
Right.
that kind of makes up for a little bit. I mean, to me, I would like to use this.
Did you run that in the slot? Would you run him in the slot, RG, or would you have?
Do you have like a certain route you could think of?
I'd use him on the outside,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, you could definitely throw some streaks to him for sure. A comeback would be pretty good. A slant's going to be perfect because it's just that quick press, beat the press, and then break. So slant, he's going to be one of the best at a slant route. This strikes me as the type of item you definitely want in your draft champions. If this comes up in draft
That's a
champions,
good
that's
tip.
a really. I mean, don't sleep on this guy. I mean, he's very usable.
Great lead in, now available in Draft Champions.
Oh, let's go. Let's go, James Jones. So that's the gauntlet of the Team of the Week items this week. Favorite items probably got to be the JJ Watt kind of consensus. He's the best overall player.
I see him being in my lineup for
Very
a
long
long time here. So
And if you make the Goose lineup,
that's what I'm saying, bro. You know you've hit that top tier.
If you make the Goose lineup, the Goo, we got to turn it into a real thing.
I
the
like it.
Goo.
It's working.
you go.
Absolutely. So now transitioning here, we had a big event last week. We had the announcement of the EA Sports Madden NFL Live Challenge. Last Thursday, though, we had the EA Sports Madden NFL Live Invitational, where we invited 4 of the best Madden players: Problem, Serious Mo, Tweezy, Shugz. RG, I know you probably have a little bit to talk about the event, talk about some of those games. You know, overall, what do you think of the event? Did you get you excited?
Yeah.
Did you see top level Madden?
Yeah, that was amazing. That was amazing. For Problem to come, I know I was catching heat from the chat for showing so much
But
favoritism.
he is the
to
GOAT.
him, and, yeah, I went back and watched it. I might have been overdoing it, but it is what it is. He is the GOAT when you're watching and you understand the greatness that he brings to the table and that consistency. It's just insane to me. And a place where it's so hard to be consistent, that's just what he does. And for him to come through against the caliber of those type of players is insane to me. I will say I'd be really interested to see how the event plays out if Mo drafts a little bit better. I feel like Mo showed really well. He was really strong, but
Dime 2-man did you see him play? Did he
Mo,
have it?
no,
Did
you know
He
what?
didn't play at all.
At all.
Yeah.
You know what? I watched the tape last night, and one of the notes I took was Mo did a really good job of switching his defense up. He was going from 3 to the cover 2 blitz to cover 1, and he was just mixing, like, it shows your previous play after, and the way he was mixing that up was really high level.
I was thinking a lot about this in the shower. I was like, Mo called.
TMI.
So Tweezy, when he found out he was playing Mo, went to his hotel room and was like, I got to figure out how to beat Dime 2-man under. It's what he called.
That's what he did the Sgibs, where he just goes hyper focused on
focused
one thing,
on one thing.
and then Mo
And then I'm
curveball.
like, Mo didn't even call that really at all.
Didn't
And
call it at
then-
all.
He might not
But then
have
I
had
go,
it
but then I'm like, Mo should have called that against Problem. But then I'm like you just said, Problem just ran the ball.
Yeah.
So you can change from, but how much does it matter if you set up your defense, you got you ran it. The Gibbs does that to me. He sits there for 10 seconds, sets up his defense exactly how he would want it if I was running this, and then I just run an inside zone, and it's demoralizing. Against Shugz on his first drive, it was 9 runs, 1 pass, and the pass was a 3rd and 8, just duck, slant. He ran the ball, so all the setups that you have, all the fancy stuff you can do, all the pressure you can bring, it's he's just running it, and I can't do anything.
What do you always like to say? Or that famous saying out there: everybody has a plan until.
You get punched in the mouth.
I mean, that's what Problem did at this event, right? You can talk about all you want, your fancy schemes, your fancy plays, fancy blitzes, but at the end of the day, Problem, simple scheme, but has a great defense, great defensive user plays, and once again, he comes on top. The consistency that he shows in tournaments is ridiculous, and I don't know how he does it.
Well, he was if you saw his post-game interview, he's just steps ahead. He's like, hey, I know going into this, I know everybody just wants to focus on wide receivers and corners.
Yeah.
And if you look at everybody's best play, I think 2 people's legend was Rondé Barber.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Everyone, you look at Shug's team, he has that 4 wide receiver set that was literally insane. So, I mean,
He just pounded the rock.
And Problem's I know this is what they're drafted. Nobody had a souped-up D-line, and I think that's where Mo felt. I'd be really interested to see if Mo had a good running back.
Those packs, Farls.
It seems like everybody's doing cornerback, everybody's going for safety. They're not shoring up their line, they're not getting their linebackers pulled together. And it was easy pickings for Problem, that's what it looked like to me.
Absolutely.
That's where Problem's weakness was as well, but nobody went out and got that Terrell Davis type of player.
Yep.
So I'm really interested to see in the future, next time Mo's kind of in that situation, what he's able to do when he actually has an elite type of offense. Because I know if I'm going up against Problem and I got Matt Schaub and Silver Ronnie Hillman as my key offensive weapons, I'll be lucky to score. And I think Mo put up 14, 21 points against them with those players.
Yeah.
So
What I
it's
find
impressive.
interesting about this whole debate here is something that you said there, and I think that once again, Problem showing that he's next level ahead of everybody else, a couple steps ahead,
Yeah,
right?
he's great.
I think everybody in that tournament, in the Invitational last week, they were drafting for themselves, specifically for their team, their scheme, right? Problem looked at the bigger picture and said, this is what they're going to draft.
Yep.
I'm going to draft the opposite and dominate in
Super smart.
in a specific
And when-
manner. And he was next level, and he dominated in the line of
I
scrimmage.
mean, that's real
where he
football
won.
there, Gibbs. That's real football. Being able to change your game plan, right? To go in at halftime and change your game plan. To not to come out and be the same team you are every single week. Be dynamic. To think 5 plays ahead. I mean, that's real football
Love
kind of
it.
stuff right there.
It is.
One thing watching the tape, and I hate to continue on my my problem homage rampage, but you know, it is what it is when you're talking about the GOAT. One thing he dominated in that whole event was his special teams. Getting Patrick Peterson and putting him at kick return.
Yeah.
He had several really strong returns. He had the one for a touchdown against Mo. He opened up against Shugz, I believe, taking it to the 40-yard line, and he also had a return against Shugz where he brought the ball down to the 20-yard line, Shugz' 20-yard line. Those in draft champions, when you're limited on offense, have limited weapons, being able to make plays like that on special teams, it's huge, just like it is in real life.
Absolutely.
Same thing in Madden.
So I think the question here, as we wrap up our Madden Challenge or Madden Invitational talk here, the question is, and this is not really thinking about any individual player competing with problem, but the question as a whole. It's kind of like the old Tiger Woods versus the field bet. Can anybody compete with problem in the EA Sports Madden NFL Live Challenge?
Yeah, I think absolutely.
Problem versus the field, who are you taking?
Yeah. I'm taking.
It's a numbers game.
I don't
right
even
there,
like
right?
doubting that guy, but I'm taking the field because I know how many high-level Madden players there are out there. I know we're gonna have a lot of young bucks that are super hungry.
Right, we got an open
That's
field
it,
right
man.
now.
That's what I'm
and I'm
excited
like,
to
I asked
see.
people to send me their records on Twitter. I'm like, tweet me, and people are like, I'm 30 and like 1. And I'm like, who? It's like a name I haven't like really seen. And I'm like, so there's just dudes out there that you just got to get the right draft.
They're
or the
dead
right playbook.
serious.
And as good as Problem was during that tournament and sticking to the ground and doing everything well, he went for it on like 4th and 3 to win the game, which is what great players do.
Right, yep.
Like it was still pretty close at the end. He was up 3,
was,
I think,
yep.
against Shugz. He had the deep ball to Deshaun Jackson at the end of the half.
That was huge.
That was a great play by Problem. I don't think Shugz realized that was Deshaun, flashback Deshaun in that spot.
Yeah.
But he had that, so that was pretty close. He did have a stranglehold on the Mo game after the kickoff, and he got a pick, and then he got the one-on-one pick with Kenny Phillips against.
Yep.
But he had a pick before that. See, I
Yeah,
thought that
where he lurked with the middle line. He
yeah,
was
see,
lurking over the
I
middle.
forgot about the lurk pick, and
Yeah,
I just
he had the
remembered
lurk
like
Did he lurk?
the kind
Did
of ratings-based
he lurk?
pick
Yeah.
that happened. But then when I went back and watched it, I was like, oh, he also had a nasty user pick.
All right, Guru, field or problem? Who you taking?
Man, Problem's been there before, a lot before. He doesn't sweat under the lights, and I think that's really big. Any of the field, they haven't done it before. They haven't been under those lights. They haven't been in that situation before. I think so. Anybody that does come from the field is going to be at a major disadvantage.
All right.
If they go up against Problem. So I'm calling Problem.
ZFarls, problem or field?
Making me choose.
Yeah, choose.
Like at the end, when this thing wraps up, all 4 events, everything we got
Yeah,
happening.
problem or the field?
Will it be somebody else standing on the?
Yeah, problem or the field. You get.
I'm not gonna pick against them.
All
I
right.
think the field has a chance, but if you're making me put it down on paper,
Right.
and
This
people-
is like
people are
virtual.
gonna go into
This is
the-
virtual paper.
and the movement's gonna go and be like, Farls didn't pick you to win.
Yeah.
I'm picking Problem.
My stamp of approval. Problem or field? I'm going problem. I mean, that's three problems, 1 field. I would. It's hard to pick against him. Like.
It's like this. It's like this. Florida State was not the best team this year in the college football season. Fact. But they hadn't lost, or maybe they hadn't lost since they won, or like Ohio State. They won the whole thing,
Sure. Yep.
and then they were still undefeated. Sure, there were teams better than them, but until they lost, they have to be ranked number 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they're not playing the best football, but it just pains me.
Are you all set?
It just kills me to see.
You need
these
some
young
water?
kids out here think they can take out air problem.
You
Just
okay?
kills me.
The kid's got so much
They can
wit.
take out
though.
air problem.
His voice is messed up, and he just transitions
He's
into
just
like
like
the
the
Godfather.
Godfather.
That's amazing.
no,
Without a
it's
beat.
good.
Without a beat.
Falls is wit, dude. You need to give me like a lesson on just how to be that witty.
Yeah.
Falls, man.
All right. So, guys, this is a cool part of the show where we're taking questions from the community, and then we also want to end the MUT Cast with the bad beat story of the week. Right. So, we're taking submissions. You send them to our email. We'll next week we'll put out a note to you guys to take questions as well as the bad beat story of the week. But the first question we have comes from Sharpshooter43, and it's for RG. It says, your pass protection tip on Twim was fire. Can you explain more of your mindset when it comes to pass protection as a whole?
F.O. Jimmy Smith.
It's pretty basic. One thing I like to do is the first thing is like just learn all the very popular blitzes that people are running, even if that means going to YouTube and searching, Madden popular blitz, whatever. and just looking at all those, setting them up, and seeing how to slide protect each of them. So that, and usually when you see a formation, the slide protection on that formation, like if you go up against 4-3 under, it's always going to be like a certain slide protection. Usually, no matter what blitz is coming out of that, unless they completely do something you haven't seen before. But so I like to learn like how to slide protect against each different formation. Once I have that, that's really key. And then the rest of it is just super obvious stuff like max protecting, blocking your tight end, blocking your running back, motioning somebody, and snapping it from where if you think the heat's coming up the A gap, motion your wide receiver, snap it when he's right in the middle of the field, pick up the A gap. Even motioning your running back outside to pick up. Some people, what they'll do too for outside rush is they'll keep their running back in the backfield. Into block. If the rush is coming from the outside, motion your running back out there and hike it right when he's aligned with him. He's not going to miss the block. When he's in the backfield, there's a chance he takes a bad angle and he misses the block. When you motion him to the outside, he's always going to pick up that block.
Nice.
So that's another tip that I would use. If it's edge heat, instead of just keeping the back in the backfield to block, motion them towards the heat and hike it there.
Farls Guru, anything to add in there quickly about what RG said?
I'm going to be doing it.
Yeah.
That's what I'll tell you. That's what I got money about
He
it.
said it. Back to the tip on Twim was just to make sure that your line is actually set before slide protected, and you're gonna have a lot more success. People have been using that, and they've been winning a lot more with it.
All right, question 2 from the community. It comes from MUT Goon. He says,
What a name.
"Yeah,
I tell you what.
MUT Guru. With all the recent content that has dropped in MUT, I can't decide where to focus. Should I play seasons games, draft champions rank, grind road to the playoffs? Where is my time best spent, Guru?"
Man, that's a tough question because that is all those places are very rewarding. Okay, DC ranked, very rewarding. You're gonna spend 9,000 coins to get in. You're gonna get more than that out, more than likely. Road to the playoff content, super robust. Thanksgiving, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna tell everybody out there, it was tough following up road to the playoffs. So stick with us through Thanksgiving. Here we got packs out there today. Also, you might have found something kind of special in the topper called a blitz ticket. You guys are going to want to hold on to as many of those as possible.
Let's take a
Yeah, let's crack one of those. I think you got
Thankful
one.
topper?
Thankful topper, is that it?
thankful for. You're always thankful for a top.
Yeah, so continue here,
One?
Guru.
There it
Oh,
is. Okay, so
Boom.
the message is hold on to as many of these as you can get. Okay?
As many, all of
So
them.
we're gonna come around. We're gonna come around and finish off Thanksgiving promotion with a bang, with something that we haven't really highlighted in Ultimate Team before.
Okay.
So the answer to the question is, Sgibs, I don't know, man, because there is so much stuff to do in Madden Ultimate Team right now, and more coming. We're even gonna have another Road to the Playoffs set drop for you guys. We got another set you guys are gonna really love coming this week. So, it's I'd say Road to the Playoffs is probably one of the most robust programs we've ever released on Ultimate Team, and there's a lot to do in there, and it's super rewarding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Farls?
You should do whatever you want to do, whatever you like to do. If you like to play head-to-head games, go with head-to-head seasons. But at a minimum, I know most of the hardcore guys have completed it. Journey 2 solos, ridiculously rewarding with that Amari Cooper you get at the end.
Yep.
He's nasty. And then you get all those elite packs coming out of there. You can always pull content from those. I've been seeing people hold on to those, time them right, have some really good pulls. The coins are all worth it from that event. So.
I see a lot of questions about blitz tickets in the chat there. Right now, the topper is the only way to get a hold of this thing, right? But we've got other stuff coming for you through the week here, and you guys, I think, like what we got coming.
All right. Great advice from the man himself, Mr. Guru. Thanks, Guru. So next question comes from The Great Escape. I'm thinking of playing the 94 Team Luke Watt at D tackle. Should I worry about his ratings decrease when I move him over? Stat-wise, he should be a great D tackle, right?
I think he's going to be great at D tackle. Plus, you have all those formations like we talked about where it is actually D end at D tackle, and he's going to be fine.
Guru?
I think the same thing. I align with Farls.
Yeah, no,
RG?
I got no beef with it.
Without a doubt. I mean, we talked a little bit earlier on the
Supposedly,
show.
when you move a D end over, his overall goes down a
Right.
little bit.
His overall goes down. His ratings decreases overall.
I'm starting to move things around a little more. I've basically been in the mindset. I've never run anybody out of position. I don't like losing the awareness. But just hanging around playing with you guys a little bit more here, and your team's a little bit more now, a little more open to it, and that's one of the more natural position changes there are in the game. So.
I already do that with the 91 overall. left end JJ Watt. I slot him in at D tackle, and I stick him there. And his stats allow him to make that transition, and for me to not worry about him going from a 91 overall DN to 84 overall D tackle.
Yep.
So I would say don't worry about it. I always say scheme over team. I always say scheme over items, right? So if your scheme requires that JJ Watt to be at D tackle, go for it and feel confident in that decision. Don't feel like I feel where this guy he's coming from is he's like I want to move him there, but I'm worried about his rating overall decreasing. That makes me feel worse about my team because he doesn't see the 904 overall. Have confidence in it, big fella. As we get to our next question, I thought this was an interesting one. The question is, I use a 78 overall punter, Marquette King, because of his 81 speed.
That's right.
I'm not sure if there's any value here. Thoughts? He's got 94 kick
Fake
power.
punt cheese? Run with a king? Are you
Right.
joking? That's what
But-
it's for.
So I think, like, okay, he's losing 6 or 5 kick power because there's a guy with 99 kick power, I think, or 98, right? So
96.
does it make sense for him to use the 81 speed punter,
You could be a
or
better
should he just
tackler.
go?
It's like when you throw a pick with Michael Vick. The best part is you probably get to chase down the guy.
Right.
Yeah,
Is there?
that's true.
Should he ditch the king here and go for the 98 kick power? Like, is he gonna get that much more kick power?
I'd get Tressway.
You get Tressway?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think kick power isn't really the most important stat for a punter.
Okay.
You know, I think accuracy and being able to cough and kick them in,
Okay.
you know, down low is what I look for.
Yep.
You know, if you're going to be fake punting, if fake punt is your thing,
Yeah.
then king is your guy.
All right. RG, what do you think?
I would. I'm not huge on it. I
Yeah.
don't really mind if people returning punts for touchdowns is something you saw more, then I think I would be all about it just for that factor you said of like you now have a punter who can actually get back and chase this guy running down. But I've seen so few punt returns for touchdowns. I'm not really concerned about that. I'll take the kick power, try to get it as far downfield as possible.
Yep. All right. So there it is. Maybe stop using king and go towards. Was it Tressway?
Yeah, Tressway from the Redskins has, I think, the highest current kick power that I've seen.
Okay.
96, 97.
All right, guys. So the bad beat story of the week coming up. His name, Mark Frank, and here's his bad beat story.
Mark.
2 first names.
Those
That's
guys.
why were
Never
there
trust them.
There's so many 2
Never
first names
trust
that are in our life right now. So this is his bad beat story of the week. I was down 3 points with under 2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, out of timeouts, and my opponent had the ball. He was in position to win the game. I all but gave up hope until my opponent decided to pass. He dropped back and delivered a bullet down the sideline. I clicked onto my road to the playoffs, Ronald Darby, and I got the pick. I could see the end zone in front of me and raced towards it. The thought of victory jolted into my mind as I took a devastating hit from my opponent's 91 overall team of the week, Eli Manning. I fumbled the ball. My opponent picked the ball up, and I once again felt the agony of defeat. Why so cruel to me,
Farls is
Madden?
feeling that one. He's like,
Why so cruel?
Eli.
How do you feel about that? That's got to be a tough loss.
Yeah.
Like he already felt like he was going to lose, and then he's about to win, but then he loses again.
that's the roller coaster of emotion, Madden will put you on right there. Perfect story. I've ended a game like that at least 100 times myself. Mark, I feel you, man.
You got to send
I
us
know
your
where you're
stories
coming
because they're
from.
out there and you never forget one. I talk
Yeah.
about one from 04 with Hines Ward. The reason I always click on still haunts my memory. But Madden 08,
Yeah.
down 35-14, I fight all the way back. I'm going into the end zone. Dante Stallworth.
Dante.
In Madden
Dante
08
Spamonte
in Madden
Stallworth.
08, you would dive over the pylon, like
Yeah.
right at the corner.
You
and it'd
still
just be
do
this,
that
like,
this day.
sweet animation.
Yeah.
This was the score to make it 35 up. Just fumbles. Just fumbles for a touchback, lose the game.
That's tough.
After I fought so hard to get back in this game,
Guru.
and I'd never seen it before. It hasn't seen it since. You just like drop the ball.
Guru, this is on the spot. Don't feel like you have to answer, but do you have a bad beat story that is like top of mind here at
No,
all?
and that is literally has happened. I have so many bad beat stories, Sgibs. I can't even tell you. Any of my friends that play me, because I typically only play friends. I don't like going in the head-to-head seasons and whatnot. I'm a play a friend guy.
Yeah.
You know, they will tell you I will find a way to lose. It doesn't matter whether it's a fumble, whether it's last second pick. I will find a way to pull out the L every time.
Love it. RG, anything in your mind top? We're gonna do this every week, so if don't like.
So I like that you. Let me start off by saying I like that you're giving people an outlet to express these stories
Yeah.
because so many people are ready to. Like, the worst thing you could do when you were at a Madden challenge back in the day is ask somebody how they lost. 'Cause
Exchange stories.
You're gonna get a 20-minute story about how God came down.
He wasn't good.
and pointed at him, struck him with lightning, and that's why I didn't win the game. So the fact that people actually now have an avenue to vent about this stuff, I think, is great.
Each
That's-
week we're going to
that's
take
amazing.
the best community submissions, your best bad beat story, and we're going to highlight that one bad beat story at the end of every show. I do have one bad beat story as well. This was the Indianapolis Madden Challenge. I think again maybe 08. Farls, you actually might remember the story better than I do. I remember there was an offside.
So Sgibs' opponent's driving down the field,
Yeah.
and he's just going like this, just holding up 2 fingers, and we're all like, "What the heck is this guy doing?"
Playoffs of the Madden Challenge, by
He's
the way.
running like Atlanta offense, Madden 10,
Madden 08.
Madden 08,
Madden
and
08.
he's just like switching off all Gibbs guys. It's just so
It was
tough.
gun two back fake wide receiver screenplay. He motioned the guy out that was blocking, put on a drag or something in it. He would get free.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they couldn't. That was
Yeah.
a bug.
Tough play.
That
Tough
It
play.
was crazy.
Tough play.
And so this guy, but Gibbs is like battling this guy. It's like maybe he's up 14-7, something like that.
Still don't know why he's
And this
called
guy's
this.
just doing this. He's at like the 50-yard line. Like
Yeah.
2-minute warning.
In my face,
like,
in
second
my
half.
grill piece, he just throws up a 2.
And so this guy's like, I'm gonna score. So this guy scores, goes for 2. Gibbs stops the 2-point conversion. Flag on the field.
Okay.
Why a flag on the field? Offsides. Why? He wasn't near. It wasn't. CPU Mike Wright, defensive tackle.
CPU Mike Wright.
Were you in 155?
No, he just lined. I was probably in
just,
46
like-
Bear plug. He lined up offsides like by himself, organically.
He didn't touch him.
I didn't touch
swear
him.
He didn't touch him.
Didn't touch him. He just like organically, decided like, hey, I'm gonna line up offsides this time. Put my hand over the line of scrimmage. Cost me my game. Cost me the playoffs.
It's a long ride home.
Long ride home.
So long story short, he puts it in the end zone for the.
The worst
so
is that he was on the
didn't
Patriots.
Get it, and then
he-
Then he got it.
Did it again.
Yeah.
Then he got
Yeah,
it.
of course.
So Mike Wright was on the Patriots, and then therefore for the next however many seasons he was on the Patriots, I just always would see that guy, and it would just always bring back bad memories, like the Mike Wright ghost.
There's so many of those stories.
Tough.
Man. It's,
What do you
Like-
say we use? So if people follow RG on Twitter,
Yep.
they can win a chance at this Jimmy Smith we just pulled.
Absolutely. First of all, follow the channel for the guys. There's 400 people in here right now watching. Please, if you're not already following the channel, go ahead and follow us every single Tuesday at roughly 11 a.m. Whenever Guru in RG and Farls can make
Yeah.
it here for 11 a.m. We're
Why,
going to do the
why
MUT
doesn't
Cast.
RG do this? RG is going to tweet from his account the name of the person you need to send on Xbox One to win this Jimmy Smith
Yep.
through trade.
Yep.
Follow RG.
Yep.
We'll tell him who to
Can you
send.
repeat those steps again so they
Okay,
understand?
so type RG's Twitter in the chat. It's
Follow
RG
R-
underscore
RG
Madden.
underscore-
Follow RG on Twitter.
man.
Yeah.
And
Come on, bro.
You get to interact with
About
the
time
community.
you got on.
follow
that, man.
RG. Within the next 4 hours, he'll post the name of the item that the player you need to send to win
RG
this
underscore, right?
Football Outsiders
Yeah,
Jimmy
RG
Smith.
underscore Madden.
Follow RG on Madden to win this item.
Yeah,
Yep.
follow him on Twitter. Yep.
So this Jimmy Smith will be on the trade block.
Yeah.
Right. So RG's going to release the name of the player that you have to offer.
It'll be like a bronze some dude.
That's right.
And we'll
then
all
he'll
monitor this.
Yeah, and then he'll at random will accept that trade.
All right.
Follow him to win. Then we'll accept the trade. You
Yep.
guys get yourselves a 98 press CB.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for the first ever MUT Cast. We'll be back next Tuesday, 11 a.m. Hopefully the same cast and crew. We'll be talking about next week's Team of the Week items. We'll be taking your questions. Of course, the Bad Beat story. Hang out and watch the MUT Twitter. We're going to create an email. I think that might be the easiest way for us to do it, for you send your questions and your
Right,
Bad
yep.
Beat stories in. But make sure you follow the channel here. We're going to be creating this, putting this on YouTube. We're also going to be turning it into actually an iTunes podcast, so that if you want to listen to this on the go, you can't catch it live. You'll be able to listen to it while you're at work and hanging out and doing stuff like that, or on the treadmill at the gym. I don't know, whatever you want to do. But make sure you guys follow the channel. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We have a full slate of content on the EA Sports Twitch channel coming up today. We have Ryan Tree Frog coming in at 6 o'clock. Zan starts streaming at 9 p.m. And then Jo starts streaming at midnight. So make sure you tune into those guys streaming
What's
here.
Zan's Draft Champs ranked record looking like?
Zan?
Yeah.
he had the most ridiculous win yesterday,
Yeah.
though. He was down he's down like 6 points with like 20 seconds to go. He was on the 40-yard line, no timeouts. Ball game. He won with like 3 seconds on the clock.
Thank goodness.
Shout out game right there for
Wow.
Zan.
Boy,
very
he's
nice.
talking about bad beat stories. My man Zan's always going through some adversity out there, so I'm glad he went his way, man. Because he's such a great player, but he always has to fight through so much.
Fight for the
Feels
bread.
like, yeah.
So, guys, appreciate it. Any sign off here, guys?
So I want to wish
Where can they
everybody-
catch you? Where can they find you on Twitter and all that
yeah,
stuff?
RG_Madden. That's
Okay.
pretty much it. I'm new to this Twitter game.
Love it.
So.
And what were we gonna say?
Appreciate
Parting
it.
words?
No, I just wanted to wish everyone a happy holiday. Have
Yeah.
a good and safe
Yeah, have a good Thanksgiving. I will say that on Wednesday night, if you want to watch Serious Mo take down Sgibs.
Not
Oh,
gonna
you're
happen.
playing Mo.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
Serious
big-
Mo on Wednesday
probably
night
gonna lose by
is
20.
going to be
Good
on
luck.
This Week in Madden, which you can catch on twitch.tv/Madden Tips. Gibbs will be locking up. They're going to play ranked teams. So I know everyone says, well, Gibbs only good because he has a good team. Well, this week he's going to have whatever team he
I've
wants.
been good for like 10 years. Come on. All right.
I'm saying
Falls,
that's what
where can
people
they
say.
find you? Where can people find you?
You can tweet me at Madden Bible, and I'll hit you back.
And where's your
with
Twitch
some
channel?
Recommendations. Twitch.tv/Madden Tips.
Guru.
Cool. It's at MUT Guru. You can find me also on EA Sports_MUT.
You might have
as
heard of
well.
it. Might have heard of it.
Also, guys, just wanted to wish you a happy holidays and get ready for Thursday midnight. That's all I'm gonna say.
You heard it first. All right, guys, we appreciate it. Have a great holiday. Eat a lot of turkey. I'm going to eat cranberry sauce and stuffing because it's awesome. I love it. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace.